So basically, our spring, and I'm gonna tell you, I went about this thing completely backwards. Our season ended. We knew we weren't in the playoffs because our bye week's the week before playoffs.
Yeah.
So right there, right at Halloween, I was like, all right, dude, everybody in the weight room, we're maxing out. And I said, from this point until spring football, we do not talk football. We come in here, we're going to buy in. I hired a strength and conditioning coach. I said, you and Coach Hallman are going to be like peanut butter and jelly. I said, we don't ask to get a football out. You know, you can do that on Saturdays. Do it, get a trainer, do whatever you want to do. We are going to focus on changing our bodies and getting ready for football. And so, pretty much from Halloween, spring, it was just all about it because what I wanted, the secret to the sauce, and steal it if you want it, is when you sit there and you hammer football, 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 there it takes away and it drains on your excitement. I'm telling you, the week out of spring ball, I made a little graphic, put it on the TV, had it scrolling. The kids looked up and said, wait a minute, 10 days till spring practice? Man, they were chomping at the bit. We had like 42 to 43 at spring practice. And when I tell you day one, like when we went out there, we have, it, coach, like they always screw up the jumping jacks. You get out there, they
Yeah.
can't spell the school name right. They can't spell, you just try to minimize. Dude, they were loud and excited over the music. I was like, who is this? And we went out and we just started rolling. We focused a lot on install because obviously I hired a new offensive coordinator, hired a new defensive coordinator, and they bring a wealth of knowledge. Coach Cersei was at Polk County, he was at Asheville. Coach Radford, he has a great concept and philosophy on the offensive side. Coach Ray, we got from Crest High School. He played at Shelby, played at Duke, played for the Chargers a little bit. We rolled him in. He brings a wealth of knowledge defensively. And so they just got in there and started pouring on kids. And then we just started throwing bags out there and made it competitive. We fell in there, trusted the spring rules, knew they were going to be set up. So the way we looked at it, we were like, okay, we're going to have 9 practices. And on the 10th practice, we're going to have a spring like showcase game. We're going to do like a spring game. And I was hyping it up. And the kids were like, hey, we're going to draft. I'm like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to stage it. So we kind of built up leading up because it was a lot of stuff we were throwing at them. And I was a little weary because I was listening. I had, leading up to spring ball, I had meetings with the OC and the offensive staff and then DC and defensive staff. Then right before spring ball started, I met with both coordinators. We had a meeting. It was great. And we got out there and we started rolling. And I'm going to be honest, like the kids impressed me with how locked in they were and were learning because the weight room had took them so much further. They first got out there his first couple of days and they liked their new bodies. They liked the new muscle they had built. They had liked to see how it felt. And I was like, man, this thing's starting to look a lot better. We're in a good place. And so we led into our spring game. I think we tried to script it. We had about 14 drives built in. We had a running clock. We had built-in quarters. We were going 10-minute quarters. So basically going live for 10 minutes, no contact, just really tagging off stuff. And it was, I went and looked and tried to pull from college football the different scoring metrics. What do you get if you tag off for a TFL or a sack? Because you need to score points because offense, they got to have ways to score. And so we built that up. And I think the final score defense won like 44-36. Kids had a great time. We brought out I probably had a whole fridge full of freeze pops. We ate popsicles. We danced, had a good time at the end of the game. But what was crazy is football's coming back to our school. A lot of people forget that we 2 years ago just had JV only. Our numbers had gotten so crazy and off. And when I looked down out of the press box, like my father and grandfather came and sat in the press box because I was like, hey, I'm not going to be on the field during spring game. OC's going to be on one side, DC's on the other. I'm going to be up top running the clock, talking through things through the mic. We wore our headsets and everything. And my dad was like, hey, dude, look below you. And I looked down and there's like 6 bleachers deep. We couldn't find a seat. And there were so many people there watching. And I was like, that's unheard of. It's a spring, like almost like a 7-on-7 tag off scrimmage. We had things set up like as a fan, it probably was tough. They just wanted to see the kids and they were cheering. And it was a very like cool experience. It was something that leading into this summer phase, we were very excited because we had the kids, they were pumped. We collected the gear, washed it, and they were like, what are you doing, coach? Where's my practice jersey? Hey, we washed it, man. You got to earn that thing this summer to get it back in the fall. So we pieced that up, and we felt very confident, at least in the offensive side. We were probably ahead of schedule by 2 days. Defensively, we had it all in 4 days. So concept-wise, the kids are now we're moving into the summer phase, so we're revisiting things for 7-on-7s and stuff like that. But for the big piece, big picture, I felt good enough after the spring showcase. We could have rolled into August 18th the next day and played a game, and I'd have felt good about our chances and what we were going to put on the field.